had a menu for the coronation of King Charles II. And what we did is we took dishes from different monarchs and we created a menu to celebrate his coronation in May. And we served the beef royale as the main course. So it's got a nice story. It's a royal dish. It was actually served at King George IV's coronation. So we found in the archives that he ate a dish with beef. It had anchovy, it had veal tongue, and herbs. So we created that dish. So the Wagyu fillet of beef, which is cooked in the Josper on charcoal and different hardwood, just to create a nice smoky note to it. And then we have the buttered bay carrot, which is confit in butter and bay leaves, with the half of onion, which is we sous vide that and cook it in smoked duck fat, and then we add a little bit of pickling liquid to it. So and then you add the triple cooked chips in as well, and it kind of just adds to the unctuousness of the dish. And then through the sauce, so the sauce was it's with claret, so red wine. So we actually use, for Dubai, we've adapted most of our dishes, all but 3 of our dishes, so that they can be free of alcohol. So we use great quality grape juices and good quality vinegars just to help with the acidity and just to add to the sauce and the dish what wine or claret, as I stated in the early recipe. And then we confit the calf's tongue, and then we dice it up and put it through the sauce and just heat it gently. So it's very tender, very soft. Obviously there's a lot of fat running through the tongue as well. And then we, again, just to acidulate the sauce, we just add some diced gherkin. Again, texture as well, just a little bit of a crunch and just to help balance the dish. And then some fresh herbs, so some fresh tarragon and some chervil.
Okay, I'm going to dive in. We've got the beef royale, which I haven't tried yet, so I'm extremely excited about this. Right, it's nice and rare. I'm going to try and get like a bit of everything.
Get the puree on there as well. A bit of the tongue. The tongue's very buttery and very unctuous. So we love the texture.
You really get the saltiness of the fish, but it's not overwhelming at all. The meat is so tender, but so flavoursome. That is, and like, look at how perfectly pink that is. The texture of the onion and the acidity of the onion just like absolutely like balances it out completely.
Yeah, it's very fresh. It's very fresh and it just lifts the dish.
That's delicious.
Heston has a real fascination with Mrs. Agnes Marshall, who was, I guess in the day, the equivalent of what a celebrity chef would have been. She had a fascination with ice cream, a real passion for ice cream, and she predicted one day that you would be able to churn ice cream using a form of liquid air. And then obviously, unfortunately she died. She died in the early 1900s, and she never got to see her vision of the ice cream being churned. And obviously when you churn ice cream very quickly using liquid nitrogen, in that case, the ice crystals are very fine and it's a very smooth ice cream. So it was slightly acidic, so we had a bit of yogurt just to finish the ice cream, just to give it a bit of richness. At the end of the meal, ice cream is quite a rich thing to have, so just add a bit of yogurt to it just to help balance the overall dish out. And then Heston found the notes, and he applied. He started to use liquid nitrogen at the fat duck in his cooking, and then he had the idea of churning ice cream with liquid nitrogen, and then that's where the trolley came from. And then we researched old ice cream machines. They were kind of barreled effect, and it was handheld. Obviously, there was no mechanism for machinery back then. And that's why we have the ice cream trolley in the restaurant.
Okay, I'm going to try, I think, the dark chocolate one.
Yep, with the hazelnut praline.
Yes. Let me This is a pretty different kind of cone.
Yeah, it's a brick pastry which we brush with butter and then sprinkle sugar in between and then form it in the shape of a cone. So it's quite delicate. You can get a nice crunch to it as well.
Oh, I've got a lot of popping candy.
Yeah, Heston loves popping candy.
I wonder if that's picking up on the mic, because it's definitely popping in my mouth.
It's there's a yogurt in there as well, so it might be slightly acidic. Just help with the acidity and the freshness.
Yeah, I was just literally going to say it's super fresh, and then with the popping candy and the nuts and the chocolate here, this is delicious.
Yeah, so usually ice cream's normally quite fatty and rich. So this is obviously a nice way to finish the meal, but it's something unctuous, but it's quite light and nicely balanced as well.
That's delicious.